Welcome to University of Detroit Mercy. I am Professor Pamela Zarkowski, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. It is my pleasure to welcome you to University of Detroit Mercy School of Dentistry's 87th commencement and the first virtual commencement in our history. In the spirit of the Jesuit and Mercy tradition of inclusion, I welcome everyone connecting with us today. It is wonderful that the family and friends of our students across the United States and internationally are able to support their graduates, although we cannot be together in person. Our ceremony will now begin with the processional of the commencement officials. Dr. Juliet Daniels, Assistant Dean of Student Affairs and Enrollment Management. Dr. Michelle Weeder, Interim Assistant Dean of Academic Administration, Research and Scholarly Achievement. Professor Kathy Shepard, Assistant Dean of Educational Development and Assessment. Dr. Timothy Saunders, Assistant Dean of Clinic Administration. Dr. Jennifer Dean, Dean of University Libraries and Instructional Technology. Dr. Mark Denham, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Education. Dr. Catherine Snyder, Dean of the College of Engineering and Science. Dr. Joseph Eisenhower, Dean of the College of Business Administration. Dr. Janet Biardi, Interim Dean of the College of Health Professions and Macaulay School of Nursing. Professor Daniel Patera, Dean of the School of Architecture. Professor Phyllis Crocker, Dean of the School of Law. Dr. Mert Aksu, Dean of the School of Dentistry. Dr. Catherine Punsalan Manlimos, Assistant to the President for Mission Integration. Mr. Thomas Mansour, Vice President for Finance and Administration. Mr. Arnold D'Ambrosio, Vice President for University Advancement. Ms. Deborah Stiefel, Vice President for Enrollment and Student Affairs. Dr. Antoine Garibaldi, President of the University of Detroit Mercy.
Welcome Detroit Mercy Dental graduates, families, and friends to the 2020 virtual commencement ceremony. My name is Juliet Daniels, and I am representing the School of Dentistry faculty. It is my distinct honor to greet you at today's ceremony. We, of course, had hoped we could have convened an in-person ceremony to celebrate your achievements. We know how important this day is for all of you. There is no day more exciting for the entire university community than graduation. With the current circumstances we find ourselves in, and to comply with all required guidelines, you are the very first class in Detroit Mercy Dental's history to be part of a virtual commencement. The faculty are grateful for your persistence, flexibility, and focus to complete your degrees. Your spirit was inspiring to all of us. I know that this year our faculty are watching from home and are cheering for each and every one of you. On behalf of the faculty, I want to congratulate you on your achievements and earning your degree. Today is your day. You should have all received a copy of your official commencement program in the mail to follow along with today's ceremony. It is also available on the official Detroit Mercy Dental commencement website. Our ceremony started with our processional, led by the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, carrying the University of Detroit Mercy mace. The history of the mace dates back hundreds of years as a ceremonial symbol carried in special events. Before we proceed, let's take a look at some memories. Enjoy.
us begin with an invocation offered by Father Gilbert Sangera of the Society of Jesus and Sister Judith Malk of the Sisters of Mercy.
A good Mercy Jesuit education should make you all good citizens, prepared to live and participate in civil society where all can flourish and not just survive. Please bow your heads.
Gracious God, we call you by many names. Your generosity, your love is boundless. On this day of commencement, a day of new beginnings, we pause to give you praise and thanks as we celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates.
God of wisdom, you have brought each of us here for a reason. Help our graduates share their knowledge and skills they have learned, always reflecting the values, ideas, cultures, and perspectives that have been part of their experience at Detroit Mercy.
God of love, we know that life is held together by relationships and that community is fundamental to society's well-being. Help our graduates and all of us to contribute to building safe, sustainable, nurturing, and healing communities. God of mercy, we rejoice in your ever-constant compassion. Help our graduates strive for justice as they work untiringly for peace.
God of hope, fill our graduates with imagination, courage, and passion that will give life to their dreams. We ask these blessings, O God of many names. Amen.
Thank you, Father Gilbert and Sister Judy. It is now my privilege to present to you the President of University of Detroit Mercy, Dr. Antoine M. Garibaldi.
Thank you, Provost Sarkowski. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the faculty and staff of University of Detroit Mercy, I extend heartfelt congratulations to the 2020 graduating class of the School of Dentistry and to their parents and families, relatives, spouses, and friends who supported them over the years. I know that you had anticipated a very different graduation from this virtual celebration, but I appreciate your understanding as we acknowledge your accomplishments and celebrate your 2020 graduation. I begin by telling you a few important facts about your graduating class. There are 190 students who have graduated with you, which includes 25 dental hygiene baccalaureate degree graduates, 140 Doctor of Dental Surgery graduates, 9 Accelerated Doctor of Dental Surgery graduates, 11 certificate and master's degree graduates in the specialty areas of endodontics, orthodontics, and periodontics, and 6 graduate students who received the certificate in advanced education in general dentistry. And like many previous classes of undergraduate, professional, and postgraduate programs, your class is similar in some ways and diverse in others, particularly with respect to your ages, gender, and hometowns. First, 148 of the 190 graduates, or 78%, are 29 years old or younger, and the other 13% are between the ages of 30 and 60. Second, women outnumber men by 8%. 54% women and 46% are men. Congratulations, ladies. I can hear your loud applause. And 140 of our Doctor of Dental Surgery students graduated from 60 different colleges and universities in Michigan, 13 other states, and Canada. More specifically, half, or 77 of you, graduated from 12 Michigan colleges and universities. 1/4 of you graduated from 37 colleges and universities in 13 other states, and the remaining 1/4 of you graduated from 11 Canadian institutions of higher education. Your diverse ages, gender, and hometown similarities and differences have hopefully provided you with a rich educational experience that you will treasure for the rest of your lives and use well in your professions, careers, and the communities where you will live and serve. Even though it has been almost 6 months since most of you have officially completed your academic work, I want to give you the following exhortation as some of you begin your first professions and others of you advance in your current career or transition to a new career altogether. My words of encouragement to you can be best summarized in the following quote of a well-known American who once said, "We must accept finite disappointment, but we must never lose infinite hope." Let me say that again. We must accept finite disappointment, but we must never lose infinite hope. Over the last 8 months, we have all experienced numerous disappointments because of the challenges and unexpected presence of COVID-19, the most serious pandemic since the Spanish flu of 1918. I know that some of you have lost family members, friends, co-workers, and acquaintances to this dreaded virus, and I offer my sincere condolences to you. None of us knows how long our lives will be on pause or how much more pain COVID-19 will inflict upon our communities. But until the number of cases declines to zero, we must be patient, follow the recommendations of health professionals, and most of all, be hopeful until a safe and effective vaccine is discovered. These difficult times that have brought so many disappointments will not last forever. As the quote says, we must accept finite disappointment, but we must never lose infinite hope. Remind yourself every day that the coronavirus is temporary, not permanent, and that a cure will eventually be found. And one of you might be the researcher who discovers that remedy. Some of your grandparents and parents may remember what their family members experienced during the challenging years of the 1918 Spanish flu, the stock market crash of 1929, and the subsequent depression, or even the most recent Great Recession of 2007 to 2009. Those were indeed challenging times, but none of our parents gave up hope, and you must not give up hope either. I expect that you will have many joyful times and numerous occasions of success, but you will also have different kinds of disappointment in your life and in your professions. When those setbacks occur, remain optimistic and continue to be hopeful. The famous American who said, "We must accept finite disappointment, but we must never lose infinite hope," was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose life was cut short at the young age of 39 in 1968, and who inspired many individuals, and definitely me, to be hopeful. Stay close to your alma mater and the School of Dentistry as you join the more than 100,000 distinguished alumni living in all 50 states and 87 countries. I am very confident that you will bring distinction to the university and your profession as you make a difference in the nation and the world. Remember that disappointment is finite, hope is infinite, and in spite of the pandemic, be optimistic, pursue your dreams, and set career and professional goals because life will indeed return to normal. Congratulations and much success, graduates, and may God's blessings be with you and your families always. It is now my honor to introduce a short video for the winner of the 2020 Vivere Ex Missione Living the Mission Award, which is presented each year during commencement exercises to graduating students who best exemplify the mission of Detroit Mercy. This year's winner is Bilal M. Ibrahim.
The University of Detroit Mercy is sponsored by the Sisters of Mercy and the Society of Jesus. These two Catholic religious orders are committed to educating the whole person, serving communities that lead to justice, recognizing the sacred in all people, and engaging the multiplex of identities within and surrounding our community. And Detroit Mercy embraces these values. Since 2009, the university has acknowledged students who embody these principles through exceptional commitments that accompany their academic pursuits. For the 2019-2020 academic year, 4 students have been awarded the Vivere Ex Missione Award, Latin for to live out the mission. 2 Saturdays a month, the Malta Medical and Dental Clinic, operating out of St. Leo's Catholic Church in Detroit, provides a full range of free dental services to underserved and underprivileged populations. This service began, expanded, and continues to be overseen by Detroit Mercy dental student Bilal Ibrahim. Raising more than $15,000 to cover clinic expenses, Bilal has ensured it continues beyond his graduation. Most importantly, the dental needs of more than 100 patients have been addressed free of charge. For these reasons and many others, Donna, Vanya, Veronica, and Bilal truly exemplify the Detroit Mercy mission with futures that will set the world on fire while being shining lamps giving light to all around them. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Garibaldi, and congratulations, Bilal. Dr. Anthony Laszlo, Vice President of the Dental Class of 2020, will now speak on behalf of the graduating Doctor of Dental Surgery students. Dr. Laszlo.
My dearest and beloved class of 2020, we made it. There's without a doubt that our class is truly something special, perhaps the greatest the University of Detroit Mercy School of Dentistry has ever seen. We are the only class since the year 1920 of the Spanish flu pandemic that did not get a proper commencement ceremony to recognize the celebration of transitioning from students to doctors. 100-year anniversary, you cannot make this stuff up. Looking back, if I remember correctly, our final written essay assignments were due in March, and at the time, I thought that this would be the last I'd ever feel the inspiration and creativity that comes with procrastinating a task until the wee hours of the morning that it is due, in the form of what we students call all-nighters. If it is one thing that I perfected in dental school, it was the art of procrastination. Lo and behold, 5 days ago, the school's administration reached out and informed me that we'd be having a virtual commencement and asked me to deliver a speech on behalf of my graduating class. I thought to myself, wow, one final chance to procrastinate in the best way that I know how. Looks like I'll be pulling an all-nighter one last time. I'm joking. As I write this, I'm sitting in the house of my only living grandparent, my beast of a 95-year-old Armenian grandmother, in the house that my Italian grandfather built back in 1955, in an effort to write this speech amidst an environment of humbleness, gratefulness, and humility. So characteristics that I find so many of my classmates exemplifying in their everyday practices. My great-grandparents all fled their respective countries for hopes and promises of a better future here in America, pioneering the path and planting the seed of opportunity that I, like so many of my classmates at Detroit Mercy Dental, are so blessed and grateful to have. I've learned that so many of my classmates share a similar story of their ancestors making great sacrifices to provide them with the chance to pursue a doctoral education, and I would like to take the time to properly acknowledge this. Family of students watching, we cannot express how truly grateful we are for the sacrifices that you have made that have allowed us to become the doctors that we are today. Some of us are first-gen Americans, some are second and third, and some beyond. So dating back to the original emigration from just about every country on this earth to driving us to and from soccer practices, piano and ballet lessons here in the States, to sending care packages while studying for the dental admissions test, to providing a home-cooked meal on the holidays that only a relative can provide after a long day, we are forever in your debt. Thank you to the wonderful administration, faculty, and staff that we were privileged to meet and learn from at Detroit Mercy Dental. The ones that listened to our concern and took action to move the culture of academia and clinic practices in the forward direction. To the professors and doctors that never gave up on us, who worked tirelessly and stayed after hours to help us improve our craft and deliver the best patient care possible. The ones that encourage us to pursue our passions both inside dentistry and beyond. And lastly, to our patients themselves, earning the name through demonstrating an immeasurable amount of patience and understanding, ultimately teaching us dentistry through sharing with us their time, their lives, and their oral health needs. For those watching, there's no arrangement of words that could help you visualize the highs and lows that we as dental students have experienced. There are so many unforgettable moments that I will inevitably fail to mention, and over the next few minutes, please join me through the eyes of a camera lens, a life spent looking through loops, as I attempt to reflect on some of these during the past 4 years that we shared together. Year 1, white coat ceremony, the beginning of the rest of our lives. internalizing the Hippocratic Oath for the very first time and committing ourselves to lifelong service and the practice of dentistry. We picked up a handpiece for the first time. We began to crack open the gates of our brain on what was possible when we truly put our minds to something. We endured an absolute mental gauntlet of rigorous didactic curriculum, daily quizzes, weekly midterms, final exams, all the while being expected to cut perfectly clean 1 to 3 millimeter shapes into plastic teeth with a burr rotating inside a handpiece at 200,000 revolutions a minute through the view of an 18 millimeter diameter circular mirror. We spent 1 full year hands-on identifying every single nerve, tissue, major vessel in the human body through the blessing of those human beings who so selflessly donated their bodies to science and education once their time on Earth here had passed. So there were long days where you didn't see the sun, both literally and metaphorically. Like, really though. In December, a Detroit sun rises at 8 a.m. and sets at 5 p.m. And when you're inside all day, nose deep in lectures that last hundreds of slides and take hours to get through, life at times seemed like one dark, never-ending night. But through the unconditional love and support of our closest family, friends, and classmates, onward we rose to year 2. Year 2, the ultimate task, a winding, seemingly never-ending road delivering us from pre-clinic to clinic. Longer days in the classroom and longer nights spent in simulation lab where we established our foundation of restoring a patient's confidence, functional biting mechanisms, jaw movements, occlusion, development of craniofacial structures, and ability to smile through the fields of ortho and prosthodontics. We practiced the art of saving a tooth in the form of a root canal. We had what some may call our first true experiences with patient empathy, when we ourselves were one another's patients in the unforgettable stab lab. I'll never forget the December of that glorious year when the final battle of the semester was presented to us in the form of 14 final exams and competencies over the course of 22 days. Top all of this, directly following it with countless hours studying for National Boards Part 1, and you now have a class full of 22 to 34-year-old males and females presenting chief complaints of utter exhaustion and fatigue with symptoms including but not limited to dehydration and bilateral lacrimation, self-medicated by coffee bean juice. Lots of tears. Then came year 3, the year we had been dreaming of since taking our first biochem exam and realizing that there had to be more to dental school and life than the Krebs cycle. Our patient now had a heartbeat. Our patient could not talk. Our patient had a mind in its skull and a tongue with a mind of its own. This is the year that we learned, as put in the words of my clinic preceptor, that on a bad day, open heart surgery takes less time than some of us take to drop a box and complete a DO filling. But we got better. We put in the work. We honed our craft. We understood constant repetition is the path to progression, and no skill worth having can be developed overnight. We received our first standard not mets. Some days in person at 3 in the afternoon, some nights over email at 3 in the morning. Dr. Kashani, it's a Saturday. Please let me sleep. The standard not mets did not sleep. They didn't take days off. We couldn't afford to either. Oh, and we had to pass 2 more national board exams. No big deal. Alas, year 4, clarity. The year everything was supposed to come together. We were finishing up requirements, applying for jobs, applying for specialty fields, passing our final round of national patient board exams. Yes, for those counting, that's the 4th set of them. We slowly and surely watched the fruits of our labor manifest into tangible rewards. The steps we took in following our knight in shining prosthodontic armor, Dr. Persiani, were paying off as we passed our last removable and fixed competencies. And with less than 2 months left until we were supposed to walk across that stage, looking into the audience and seeing the smiling faces of the support system that had propelled us the last 4 years, tragedy in the form of a pandemic strikes. The great Nelson Mandela once said, "Do not judge me by my success, judge me by how many times I fall and get back up again." This pandemic resonated in the final fall for us. For 2 months, there was no official end date in sight, and we really had no idea what our last day of dental school would be. During this time, however, we didn't remain stagnant. We took action. We got back up. We scratched, we clawed, we crawled. We made use of every single resource imaginable to figure out what we needed to do. We had Zoom meetings with student leaders from every other dental school and connected with over 4,000 dental students across the nation via Facebook groups. We emailed governors, state legislature, dental boards administration, and countless others in positions of power to voice our concerns and the change that needed to happen. We adapted, we evolved, and we became the change that we needed to see in our little dental world. In the end, I wouldn't have traded the last 4 years for anything. Could I do dental school twice? No shot. Would I ever not do it once? Never. Moving forward and into new institutions and communities, it is inevitable that bad days will arise, and I pray that you never hesitate to reach out to me or any of the other friends and mentors that you've made in this little Detroit Mercy Dental family. They say that the human mind thinks on average 2,000 to 3,000 thoughts an hour, and it's okay that some aren't always going to be that jolly. They're going to come up. But please, however, do not let whatever trials and tribulations overshadow just how amazing our profession can truly be. We make a wonderful living and often work less hours than a handful of professions. Upon licensure, we're technically allowed to perform any type of dentistry that we feel comfortable and safe performing. Your internal medicine doctor wouldn't be allowed to take a weekend or week-long CE course in gastric bypass surgery and then implement it the following week in the office to boost production or quality of patient care. The possibilities for lifelong learning in this profession never end, and I encourage you to continue to push your limits of what you believe is possible with your brain and your two hands. In spending close to 50 hours a week with you all, I've witnessed firsthand that you have an innate gift and desire to care for those in need. And right now, the world needs those people more than ever. I'm so proud of the people that you have become and grateful to have gone through the trenches with such a dream team. I know that you will all succeed in whatever endeavors dentistry may present you with, whether that is academia, specialty practices, mission work, serving the underserved, and beyond. There's a quote by Abhijit Neskar that I came across sometime during school, and the message still resonates with me today. It is that the world is full of doctors, but healers are rare. The world is full of pills, but medicine is rare. The world is full of stethoscopes, but listening is rare. And when someone's in misery, in our case, presenting with symptomatic irreversible pulpitis or symptomatic apical periodontitis, I have no doubt that you'll appear. God bless, and I'll see you at the reunions.
Thank you, Dr. Laszlo. The candidates who completed their requirements during the 2019-2020 academic year will now be presented by the Dean of the School of Dentistry. Names of the graduates will scroll on the screen in order of the program while the Dean, Dr. Mert Aksu, is speaking.
President Garibaldi, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Dentistry, I have the honor to present these candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree in Dental Hygiene, Doctor of Dental Surgery, the Master of Science degree, and the certificates in Advanced Education in General Dentistry, Endodontics, Orthodontics, and Periodontics, and respectfully recommend that such degrees and certificates be conferred upon them. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Class of 2020 School of Dentistry Virtual Commencement Ceremony. Thank you all for joining us here today as we celebrate the successes of our graduates. And while I want to admit I feel awkward and somewhat anxious about being here today, I want to tell you how truly heartfelt my congratulations and pride are for all of you in the Class of 2020. As I contemplated preparation for today's remarks, I reflected on all that has happened in the past 6 months. As tradition goes, I want to take a few moments to reflect on the essence of all that is rooted in the many commencement exercises. While I have attended and have spoken at many commencements, I knew this one would need extraordinary effort. Today, there are many aspects of what we are doing that cannot be measured by what was normal, and even with the new normal, there is much about our routine that still does not feel right. But each day we try to exceed expectations. In the spirit of our Jesuit and Mercy traditions, I sought to identify a quote that seemed apropos for the circumstance. As Catherine Macaulay stated, we must strive to do ordinary things extraordinarily well. I say that with heartfelt sincerity, as the School of Dentistry has come together today to honor you for your achievements and your family, friends, and significant others' contributions to your successes in the education you have attained. Of course, it is a time where I also encourage you to remember and reflect on the faculty who shared in your journey. As you and those that have supported and cared for you during your School of Dentistry experience to join us, I want to take a moment to share your appreciation for all that you have achieved and for all that others have done to help you get to this point in time. Unfortunately, the current world circumstances have limited our ability to have been together for the moment. The times have challenged us as humans because we feel that so much was stolen away from feeling and experiencing commencement as we imagined. The celebration with those we love, the moments of walking across the stage, and the opportunity to share the moment of being hooded or pinned by a respected faculty or family member are replaced by different memories. I was genuinely saddened that we could not share that moment in the way our tradition intended. For the faculty and administration of the School of Dentistry, this moment with you was also stolen away from us because we share in the pride for your success. During these times, our human condition sometimes causes us to take leave from our cognitive ability to assess the situation. As a result, our emotions cause us to feel and see things we know otherwise could not have been prevented. The essence of our human nature makes us crave the togetherness that commencement traditionally allows us to share. Our human condition caused us to feel grief in the sadness of the loss of our opportunity to be together in celebration of the moment and in person, and we are hopeful that as we heal, we will find our way forward together. Because as graduates of the University of Detroit Mercy, you are forever bound together by the memories of your time here. On a personal note, the current circumstances and the changes in my life have impacted me in ways I would have never imagined. Over the past 6 months, as I worked to bring a sense of normalcy in an environment where it seemed nothing was normal, I missed the everyday things we so often took for granted. Not intending to diminish the importance or significance of today's gathering, but even the simple things were a loss. A morning donut, laughing at a lunch table, a simple handshake, or a pat on the back. More importantly, I miss the energy of people that made our community vibrant, colorful, and meaningful. These times have brought out many emotions, and among the people I have spoken to, the one clear thread was the impact of uncertainty. And it didn't matter who I talked to, whether it was the staff who worked tirelessly to support our mission, who suddenly were home, the patients who were in to seek emergency care, the students frustrated by the disruption, or the faculty who were adapting to a new role from home in their new world. This uncertainty, combined with our human condition, caused us to react, respond, and express our uneasiness with all that was happening around us. This uncertainty and the isolation imposed upon us caused many of us to lose our perspective of the bigger picture. As I worked on completing tasks and getting through the day, I sometimes struggled with remaining focused on the big picture and our mission of educating oral health professionals to improve the health of the people we serve. Dentistry is a profession rooted in serving others. All of this reminded me of a story I heard about a construction site where there were 3 workers, each pushing a wheelbarrow, carrying a single massive rock. Each of these 3 workers were asked, "What are you workers doing?" The first worker responded, "We're hauling rocks." The second worker, with a wheelbarrow pushing a rock, was asked the same question, and he responded, "We're putting up walls." Finally, the third worker, struggling with what seemed to be the largest rock and was pushing that wheelbarrow up what appeared to be the steepest incline, was asked the same question and responded, "We are building a magnificent church." Perception makes all the difference. As we each work to get where we are going, we need to remember the greater purpose of each task that is put in front of us. This story of the 3 construction workers shed light on the impact that perspective attitude has on our ability to find meaning for all that we do. As you reflect on your days as students, I am hopeful that your memories of hauling rocks is shifted into your memories of your transformation from being a student to someone who will help others heal. I remember in my conversations with dental students during orientation, I often speak of the role dental school will play in your lives. Dental school is the place where you will not only learn the art and science of dentistry, dental hygiene, or your specialty, but you will also be transformed in many other ways. This transformation is personal to each one of you because it involves the emotional, cognitive, and spiritual fabric of who you are as you begin a career as a healthcare provider. You will suddenly be transformed from learning the right answer to finding the right answer for your patient's condition. In closing, we are all proud to share in your success, and we are proud that we are able to be here virtually with you all in this moment. As I close, I want to remember a few words of wisdom from a friend and mentor, Dean Emeritus, Dr. H. Robert Steinman. His words of wisdom for each graduating class was, "Don't forget to brush and floss. Even the simple things in life can bring you joy."
Now that the candidates from the School of Dentistry have been recognized, a very solemn moment is about to take place when the president of the university, Dr. Antoine Garibaldi, confers the degrees. This marks the official moment when graduation actually occurs.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees and certificates for which you have been recommended and pronounce you sons and daughters of University of Detroit Mercy forever. Congratulations.
As a sign of the granting of your degree, if you are wearing a cap, now is the time when everyone would move their tassel from the right to the left side of your cap. Please join us wherever you are watching in congratulating our graduates, the class of 2020. As an alumnus, there are a broad variety of benefits designed to assist you personally and professionally. We hope that you take advantage of those benefits, continue your engagement with your university, and advocate for the men and women who will follow in your footsteps. We look forward to having you join us for homecoming in the future or attend a continuing education course. Our ceremony is now complete, and we thank you for watching today to honor the class of 2020. Will those here please rise as we recess today's ceremony?